Okay, we're fairly well back on track with our video and podcast episodes. If you were with me last week, you saw I did them in reverse order, and I did them in reverse order. They still came out. Well, they didn't come out in the right order because the podcast was late, but I think it still came out in the right order. It just didn't come out on the day that we normally do. But anyway, so last week I continued our significance theme in the videos. I didn't do it in the podcast. We got back to that this week with another set of a couple of quotes. And these will be probably our next to the last, this will be our next to the last episode on this significance theme, I think. It's what it's looking like, at least right now. I've got two more quotes that I want to talk about next week, and I think that's where I'm going to wrap it. But today I have one quote from somebody I'd never heard of, and one quote from somebody you've heard me talk about all the time, and a lot of. And I'm sure you're all guessing who it is right now. The first, and these quotes, by the way, fit right in line with an element that we've had in this series so far, and that is this concept of success and significance. But I didn't want to miss doing these quotes. Maybe I should have done them back a little ways, probably about 4 weeks ago or so, when I think the Oprah Winfrey quote was about that, and then the quote right before that. I think both of those, or quotes right before that, were about the concept of success and significance. But so go back and check those out, because those fit right in line with this one, with these two, excuse me. So the first one comes to us from a guy named Dov, I believe is how you say his name, D-O-V, Seidman. And he was an author, a columnist, a businessman, founder and chairman and former CEO of the LRN, which is the Legal Research Network. He had been a lawyer himself, I believe. And they became a company, or they were a company, an ethics and compliance management firm. So I think his focus was trying to help legal teams in this world make sure that they are following ethical practices and complying with what they should be doing. And it might not have only been legal teams that they focused on. It may have been a variety of them. Again, sorry, you can look him up. And then he also was the author of How, the book How, and he founded the How Institute for Society. So anyway, obviously has done quite a bit with this concept of ethics, management, and being our best in that way. And he said this, he said, when you pursue significance, success can find you. I love that idea. And again, it kind of goes back to some of the things we talked about with Maxwell a while back in the Change Your World series. And then others, when we were talking about success and significance, like I said, I believe Oprah Winfrey was one of those. And the two right before her, and they're escaping me. Actually, I could probably scroll and find those right now that I'm saying that. So real quickly, I will do that. Oprah Winfrey said the key to realizing a dream is to focus not on success, but significance. And then even the small steps and little victories along your path will take on greater meaning. Remember we talked about little victories. So, and then it was actually not the ones right before that. It was the ones, let me make sure of this, right after hers. And those were by Michael Josephson and Ken Blanchard. So episodes 172 and 173 is where we really focused on the concept of how significance and success kind of meld together, or can, if you will do all you can to focus on the significance instead of the success. And this is exactly what Dov Seidman's saying. Focus on being a person of significance in these people's lives, whoever it is that you lead. It doesn't even have to be who you lead. Just be significant in your family's life and in your friends' lives and whatever group. Just try to bring significance to them. And what is significance? Well, we've been talking about that through the series, but I love Jackie Robinson's idea about impact, and Nelson Mandela's idea about being a difference maker. And we've heard that in people's lives. We've heard that from John Maxwell and so many others. And so when you focus on doing that, the success things that you're looking for will find you. I have said for years in my coaching, I'm not focusing on the scoreboard. Do I want to win? Absolutely. Do I want to win as much as you? I would imagine so. I mean, who doesn't want to win? Now there are some who will say, well, I'll do anything to win. Well, I won't. I'll do anything within, reason. Yeah. And within the rules and within, making sure we're doing all we can to become our best. Absolutely. But so I imagine most of you and I are in the same boat. We'll do all that we can within, our means and within, the ethics and the morality and all, and our standards to win. Sure. But that's not what I'm focusing on. I'm focusing on creating the best team that I can possibly create. Well, how do I do that? By building relationships with the kids on the team. How do I do that? By trying to have impact, trying to be a difference maker in their lives, trying to listen to them, find out where they're at, and do all I can to then meet them there and then provide them opportunities to grow, develop, improve, and become the best that they can be. At the game that I'm coaching them, yeah, but at everything. And so when we focus on those types of things being significant in their lives, then the success will follow. Is there a guarantee? No, there's not, but I don't know that it ever doesn't. Okay. I don't know that anyone's ever focused on it. Maybe for a season. Sure. I've had tough seasons where we didn't win a lot, and I was focusing on those types of things, our core covenants, and making sure that we're behaving the right way and we're putting forth maximum effort and just doing all those types of things. But the scoreboard didn't go our way. We weren't as talented as our opponents. And quite honestly, unfortunately, sometimes that's what it comes down to. We want to say the classic line, I'll be talking about it this weekend when I speak at a school in Wyoming. We want to say hard work, talent beats hard work, but hard work beats talent when talent won't work hard, or something like that, right? And talent beats hard work, something along those lines. Well, there's two ends of the spectrum there, and the one is talent. There's got to be some talent in your program, on your teams, if you're going to have success. It's not only about hard work. I could have my son, when he was 7 years old, work in his team, work as hard as they could possibly work. They weren't going to beat our high school team. No matter how hard they worked at that age, right? So at times, yeah, but when all things are somewhat equal, that's when the hard work can start to turn things, right? And so when we focus on being, on significance, focus on teaching hard work, value hard work, discipline, selflessness, all those types of things that we talk about, that's when the success can follow, because I'm zeroed in on the more significant things. Also, I'm creating a relationship, I hope, with my team members where they will want to do more for our team, because it's more out of love and respect as opposed to out of fear, and just trying to get them to do things because I said so, that type of thing. So anyway, love that concept. Let's go to the next, which fits right in with it. And yes, it's by John Maxwell. And next week's two quotes that I have are by him. But these three come from a book I have not read of his yet. Well, I know the next two do. I had it on here, I thought, but maybe not. Intentional Living. And I just got that book. I haven't read that one. So looking forward to that. He says, success is about me. Significance is all about others. Once you taste significance, success will never satisfy you again. And I may have talked about this quote before, because I'm thinking that sounds so familiar. I think that's what he said in the Movement Foundation's website, on the video on the Movement Foundation's website. I talked about Casey Crawford and the Movement Foundation way back in chapter 3 of the Change Your World book. So if you go back to wherever, scroll back and check out the videos, and the one that dealt with that. And it was one of our first ones on success and significance. But I love this quote, and so I'm thinking that's where I heard it. It may have been in the places where I get quotes too, the various websites. But this one, I think I heard him say, success is about me. right? Because I'm focused on, can I get successful? And there's nothing wrong with that. We all want to be successful in life, sure. But significance is where when we take steps towards significance, and helping others, that's when it can help us. So significance is all about others. If I want to be successful, I want to win a game, I want to make a lot of money, I want to have a nice family, whatever I consider success. I'm not saying those are things that you should focus on as success. I'm just saying those might be things that I could focus on as success. Well, it's about me. But when I turn my attention outward and focus on others and creating significance for others, that's when the success can then find me. But more importantly, the success itself will never satisfy you again. Because the more I pour into others and help others have their successes and then turn around and do the same for other people and create significance in their life, and that's how they're creating success for themselves, that's when it'll be like, this is really what matters. Yeah, I want to win games on a scoreboard. Yeah, I want to win and make enough money to, have a nice life and not be worried about, paying bills and things like that. Yeah, I want to have a nice family and be successful that way. Yeah, I want to, and the list goes on. But all of that will pale in comparison to, look what I've just done to help other people have that kind of life too. So love this idea. Okay, when you pursue significance, success can find you. And it's not, success is about me, significance is all about others. Once you taste significance, success will never satisfy you again. I hope you're right in line with that concept. I'm sure most of you are. And start applying that to your life and applying that to your teams. And I think you're going to find it's going to make your coaching and the things that you do, where you lead and where you use this, so much more enjoyable. All right. All right. Last one on significance coming up next week. And so come back for that and we'll talk to you then.